Hello. Blessings to you, beautiful people. So I know that going through a spiritual awakening can be an incredibly can be an incredibly scary experience, because a part of you has to die. A part of you that you've carried with you your whole life has to die. And it doesn't mean that you forget that part exists, but in order to accept a world of magic, a world of spirits and unconditional love, we have to let go of the shackles that hold us into this 3D matrix, the labels we had, and especially the labels that we thought that we had to have to fit into a certain criteria. And this is painful. It feels as though your life that you've been living has been a lie. It feels painful, and it feels scary, and it feels lonely, because you cannot share this with people. You can, but you can't, because what are they going to think of you? They're going to think you're crazy. You are crazy. You must be crazy. Ignore this camera. I mean, this is a camera, so it's not like, but it's actually facing the wall. The place, my apartment, was previously a holiday rental, and I guess the cameras were there for security reasons. This is a Egyptian poster. It's a circle with all the astrology, and in the dark there is a big ankh that grows, and ankh is that grows, that lights up in the glow in the dark, and the ankh, if you know, is eternal life, the eternal life that we have. So there's just not, I mean, that now there's so much, but it's like, I guess, like cancer, probably not the best example, but like, or a car accident. You hear of people having it, you see people in it, but you don't think it's going to happen to you. And that's like a spiritual awakening. You hear these things, you hear this theory, you hear this talk, until it happens to you. It's a completely different experience. It is an experience. You have an experience of something. And there's no, like, nothing that you were taught at school, in your town, in your community, has prepared you to experience this breakdown of everything you thought you knew and who you thought you were, to discover that you had these masks on to fit in. And it's painful. It's so painful. And it's liberating, but you have to go through that pain to access that liberation. And even then, it's not as if you're sitting there and you're like, oh, my ego's died, I'm totally free now. It's continuous work, and it's continuous pain. And that is why so many people, when they're going through this experience of awakening, have to be alone. They have to withdraw themselves, because they're discovering who they are by themselves, without other people's energy. Because when you are surrounded by other people's energy, that is, your energy is manipulated, especially if you're an empath or a healer or a worker. Your energy is very much manipulated by the energy around you. And so you withdraw so that you can spend time aligning and discovering who you are. You feel things that you've physically never felt. I was looking at photos of today, of a year ago, when my body started going through these changes. And I literally was having photos of myself from 2021, no, like January 2022, March 2022. I had my awakening started in February. My body is physically different. My breasts are different. It was like I went through puberty physically, and that's fucking scary. That is petrifying when your body is starting to change and no one can tell you why. And then you feel like you're dying. You feel like you want to just cry. You have no energy to get up. You have no energy to move. You're going through all of these things, and if you have not induced this awakening, it can be really, really, really scary and painful. So if you're going through all of this, it's advisable to go to the doctor. I went 3 times. I went to the hospital. I went for different checkups, x-rays of every part of my body. All the things. They were like, nothing's wrong. I'm like, but how is this happening then? Tell me what this is if there's nothing wrong with me. And they just couldn't tell me what was wrong. And it was my chakras opening up and releasing something that I had stored, all these things that I had stored for my whole life. And it can take you to some dark, dark, dark places. You can go to some dark, dark, dark places, because in order to see this unconditional love, this eternal light, and know where you come from, you have to see the darkness. You have to feel the darkness. To feel this abundance, this love, this peace, you have to feel this darkness. And that's scary and painful. But you have to feel it, because your body is releasing your trauma that you've held on to because you were too afraid to speak. Because you didn't want to be a burden. You didn't want to burden someone else with your problems, so you held it in. You thought it was wrong to feel the way you were feeling, to think the way you were thinking, so you kept it in. It doesn't disappear, dissolve like sugar. Sugar transforms into a different, the sugar doesn't disappear, the sugar transforms into a liquid, and then you drink it. Just like the sugar transforms in your body, I mean in a cup, your energy, your emotion, your sadness, your anger transforms into something else in your body. It is stored in your body. So when you have this awakening, your ego is torn to pieces and your body releases this, all these emotions that you've held on to for so long. And not only yours, but from generations and generations before you. You didn't come from nothing. You didn't pull out the ground from absolutely nothing. You come from your mother's womb. She comes from her mother's womb. In the DNA of our fiber, of our beings, there is stored information. Information on how this body is created. Information on how do I beat the heart, the lungs, on how all the parts of your body work. And it would make sense then that there's information stored about the emotions. If we accept and understand that our emotions don't disappear, they transform into something else, and they are stored in the body and stored in the DNA, and this DNA gets passed through generations from your mother and your father, that trauma, and on and on and on. So that is what is in you, and that is what you are releasing when you go through this, and it's a lot. It's a lot. It's hundreds of years of beliefs, if you're a woman, that you're not good enough, that you don't have a voice. Oh, and it goes on and on and on and on. And men, you can't cry, you can't have pain. Don't show emotion. Everyone, you're not good enough. You can't be different. So many things. And we hold on to it as well. And awakening is releasing this, so it's a lot. And it feels like death. And that's what makes you want to live. That's what makes you want to live your best and fullest life. Because you realize that this time on earth is finite. Your body is finite. This moment is finite. It's moving. We're moving. We're moving. Constantly evolving, constantly changing. You realize the speck of time that you have, and you're like, I need to do what I'm meant to do. I need to find why I'm here, and I need to make it happen. Because there is a reason that I'm here, because you understand the bigger picture. You know that you've come from, if every person said I've got no place, no purpose, there's no reason for me, there'd be no people, there'd be no you, there'd be no me. We are all here creating this world with each other, and it's beautiful, and it is your purpose to discover why you're here. And that is in alignment with what you loved when you were a child, with what brought you joy. That's part of the reason you're here. And that's what you need to discover and align with, and remove these blocks that we have in our past that hold us back, that make us think we're not good enough. So I'm kind of talking on two parts here, but my intention was to just send love to anybody who's going through a spiritual awakening, who's feeling lost, who's feeling confused, who's feeling crazy. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. You're valid, and you're incredible. You're incredible for being here and for going through what you're going through, and you can do it. Like, keep going, release what doesn't serve you, and feel those moments, those emotions, and everything that you need to feel. Because when you feel it, you release it, and then you let it go, and you make this space. And when you overcome those experiences of ego death, there are some beautiful, beautiful places that you will find within yourself, within the world, and no one can ever take that away from you. And it's the most beautiful thing, and you deserve to experience it. You're going to feel the lowest lows and the highest highs, very much like this in the beginning. For some people, it's different, right? We can't all, that's the thing about awakening as well. There's so much different information that it also can be overwhelming and scary, because you're like, am I doing it right? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? You need to breathe. You need to connect with your body, and you need to listen to yourself and trust yourself and know that you're being guided. Meditate, breathe, do yoga, connect with your body, go for walks, talk to trees. But your answers are within yourself, and you can take guidance from people, but you have to understand who you are and what works for you, because that's the beauty of it. We are all the same, but we're all unique. We're beautiful, and you're beautiful, and trust yourself. Know your truth. Know that you are unconditional love. Know that you are being held. Feel the connection you have with the earth. Feel the light that goes further than infinity, that is a part of you. It connects you to the galaxy and further than your mind can even comprehend at this time. Because that's who you are. You're an infinite source, and you're here to live this life, to experience this life, to learn. And if you can see every experience as a learning experience, like yeah. Sending my deepest love to you.